The Seattle Seahawks on the road again as they look to take on the Los Angeles Chargers and continue their AFC West expedition here. And if you're going to play football in Los Angeles, get out your respirators. This air is absolutely polluted. And the Seattle Seahawks, of course, coming off of a victory against their divisional foe, Arizona Cardinals. Let's see if they can make things happen here. And Phillip Rivers, now speaking of air, going to air it out on the first play. Testing DJ Alexander, and Alexander with the last second rejection, like a debit card with no cash on it, so that would give the football to Russell Wilson in the offense for the first time today, and they were rolling, finding Jordan Matthews down to the Bolts logo here to the 48-yard line, and now Wilson giving it to Kenneth Dixon, and Dixon cutting, weaving, and steaming, and he's going to be inside the 50, the NFL's leading rusher coming through once more. And now Wilson, speaking of coming through, Russell Wilson to Henry Chatham, more wide open than a Burger King drive-through, down to the 31-yard line into field goal range. And then Russell Wilson, once more, against the blitz, gonna lob it up to Chatham, and those 6'6" arms and that beautiful wingspan going up to make the play. That is the big target Russell Wilson's been looking for. And leave it to Kenneth Dixon. Those PEDs are mattering as he powers his way into the end zone for the first touchdown. As ironically, the Seahawks strike first in this one, and here's Phillip Rivers, flat-footed, nobody open, and he's looking, stepping up, and he's gonna get wrapped up in a Frank Clark sandwich. Being the meat in a Frank Clark sandwich is an everyday quarterback thing, Phillip Rivers. Do not worry. But here's Russell Wilson with the ball back after a punt by the Chargers, and he's going to fire up the seam, mean up the seam to Henry Chatham, the big tight end, and running into him is like running into a brick wall, maybe worse. So I hope that defensive back is okay. But that would nonetheless set the Seahawks up at a 13, and Wilson with a bullet to Jordan Matthews, more velocity than a North Korean missile, and Matthews applied the glue to his gloves this morning, so that is a Seahawks touchdown. Now next Seahawks possession, give it to Kenneth Dixon, powering his way forward to the 38-yard line. And the Seahawks offense is opening up craters today against this Chargers D-line. And now here's Wilson to Tyler, the touchdown creator, and that will remain true. 3 diving defenders, and he does the rocket into the end zone for a Seahawks touchdown. It is 21-0. The Seahawks taking a 3-possession lead here in the early second quarter. Not too many defensive highlights so far today, so I will just show you Melvin Gordon going nowhere like he did all day. That is Alex Spotch in the backfield on the toss to the left. And Melvin Gordon is just having issues getting going. But hey, diddle, Kenneth Dixon up the middle. More craters for him to run through. And the NFL's leading rusher comes through yet again. Over 100 already in the first half. Over 200 on the day for Kenneth Dixon with 2 touchdowns. Here's Henry Chatham up the seam once more. He had a big day. $130 and a touchdown for Chatham on the day. And that would be a Seahawks field goal being tacked on. Here's Melvin Gordon again going nowhere. DJ Alexander in the backfield. Then move forward. Gordon absolutely nowhere, runs into the wall known as the Amber Browning, and then yet again Earl Thomas with the boom, and Melvin Gordon is going to feel that tomorrow morning. Here's Wilson back to his hot hand. He's going to find Henry Chatham right up the seam there, getting mean up the seam all game long. Wilson to Chatham, the connection is real, and now Kenneth Dixon back up the middle. More craters for him to run through down to the 2-yard line. Seattle unable to put together a touchdown scoring drive, however, attacks on another field goal. Next possession against the blitz. Wilson finds Matthews. Beautiful dot, and the second half would go the same way as the first half. Pure dominance by the Seattle Seahawks, 27-0. Henry Chatham up the middle yet again. They are not playing over there. They're probably scared to hit him for a damn good reason. Second defender injured off of the brick wall. And now Rivers to Gordon. Gordon finally getting something together, hitting the spin move, breaking ankles like Gordon Hayward, and down to the 44-yard line. Give it back to Melvin Gordon once more. A great block up the middle, and he would be inside the 35. But Phillip Rivers had the choke eventually, finding the roaming Earl Thomas. Intercepted. That's a big mistake. He would not have even been in bounds if that throw was made, and Earl Thomas is there to accept the present. So that would give the ball back to Seattle, and now Wilson play action, gonna fire yet again. There's Tyler, the touchdown creator, down to the 40-yard line for Wilson. And now Russell, the love muscle, handing it off up the middle. Kenneth Dixon with a beautiful cut, and he's going to be down to the 5-yard line. $182 on 22 attempts, and they would feed the beast once more. Kenneth Dixon spinning off tackles, using those PEDs to his advantage and getting into the end zone for the touchdown, his second of the game. And Phillip Rivers wants to go home at this point, and for a good reason, I would say. Blanket coverage and Glenn Hayden getting the sack. and that ball comes out. Phillip Rivers just trying to get off the field. There's Frank Clark with the recovery. He's been all over the field today. Rivers gets dropped. Seattle football, they cannot do anything with that one, and now Rivers stepping up yet again, going to airmail it up, and that is a dangerous throw. Intercepted by Earl Thomas. Lewis Alexander has had a fantastic game at corner, the 4th round pick, and he is showing this organization that he can step up and make plays when he needs to. But nonetheless, back-to-back games with 2 interceptions for Earl Thomas. He's been an absolute ball hawk. And now Kenneth Dixon is going to put the cap on this one, if the cap was not already on it already, with a first down there. Clock ticking down there, just going to drain the clock. And then Wilson to Dougie Fresh. Russell the Love Muscle, more velocity than a North Korean missile. Sierra must like that quite a bit. Seattle Seahawks win 44-3. Chargers broke the shutout there at the end, but nothing worth showing. Russell Wilson, big game. Kenneth Dixon, big game, and that is all you need, especially when Henry Chatham, your big man, is making so many plays up top for you. And the defensive unit was fantastic. Only a few big runs given up to Melvin Gordon, but other than that, this unit was just outstanding. A complete game by the Seattle Seahawks, and a complete game that not a lot of people were expecting. I did go ahead and change the sliders because, yeah, it's kind of unrealistic that we're killing the Chargers this badly. But next week, we are up against the Detroit Lions. They are 2-2. We're 3-1, and we do sit atop first place in the NFC West over the 49ers, the Rams, and the Cardinals. Very uncompetitive division this year. Kenneth Dixon leads the NFL in rushing yards and touchdowns, and that is really just fantastic considering he was just a low radar free agency signing. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you later.